Salam, welcome back to Quran 101, Part 1, Episode 4, our concluding episode of this part. So two more things I want to discuss before we go on to something else. The first thing is that when you look at all of the verses of the Quran, there are 6,236 verses of the Quran. If you look at all those verses, only 300 to 400 of those verses deal with matters of Islamic law. Islamic law is, do this, don't do this. That means that over 97% of the Quran deals with something else. It deals with building our character, building our belief. It tells us stories of the past, stories that we can learn from, reminds us of the existence of God, the presence of God in our life, so on and so forth. That's a pretty startling fact. And by the way, if you look at the hadith literature, you're going to find around the same spread. Around 3% of the hadith deal with matters of Islamic law, and 97 or a little bit over 97% deal with character, akhlaq. This is really important because this ties into something that we said earlier, which is that the Quran is a book of guidance. This shows you that it's meant to guide us. Some of the stuff, a small amount, is do's and don'ts, but by no means all of the Quran, not even half of it, not even a quarter of it. Only 3% of the Quran deals with that stuff. The other thing and the final thing I want to say is one of the statements of wisdom that we inherit from the past is that the wonders of the Quran never cease. Because it is a book of revelation, because it is the eternal uncreated speech of God, because it is preserved, because of those meanings, and that's why I began with them, that means that when you come and read the Quran, it's never going to end what you can learn and what you can benefit. When you open the Quran and you read, it's as if that verse or that chapter has been revealed for you right then and there. And therefore, our relationship with the Quran, hopefully, is ongoing and it grows. We talked about earlier how we respect the past and we build. So this allows us to say, the past, our ancestors said this, and we add this. Rather than say, oh, they said this, but we'll say they said this and. Why? Because its wonders never cease. Its applicability never ends. The way we can understand, and as we as a race and as a species, as we learn more and invent more and create more in our world now is very, very different than the world of our ancestors. That means that our way of thinking about the Quran will also, inshallah, increase and expand. We'll talk about that much later in this mini-series, the need to expand our understanding of the Quran. But this concludes the first part, which is some of the things that constitute our belief in the Quran. Inshallah, we'll move on to the next part to talk about the Quran and the way we think. Stay tuned for the next episode, inshallah.